Welcome to Greek Verse a Day. Today we're translating the first part of Revelation 1:16. You're working from your Reader's Edition. I'm working from the screen. We'll read through twice and then we'll jump in with some grammatical and translation comments. So let's start nice and slow for our first reading. Kai ekon in te dexia keri autou asteros hepta. Kai ek tu stomatos autou Romphia distamos oxea ek por you amene. This time a little bit faster. Kai ekon in te dexia keri autou asteros hepta. Kai ek tu stomatos autou Romphia distamos oxea ek por you amene. So go ahead and at this point, pause, read through, or take a look at your Reader's Edition and see what you can make of this verse. All right, remember we are in the middle of a description of the one like a son of a human. John has previously described his face and his feet, and now he's going to describe something in his hand and in his mouth. So right away, we get ekon, which is a present active participle. It's nominative, masculine, and singular. So remember, with participles, we're going to get tense and voice, and then we're going to get the mood being participle. And then participles are also going to have case, gender, and number. And this is from the verb echo, which means I have. So our translation is going to be having, and it's nominative, masculine, singular, with its antecedent being the one like a son of man from all the way back in Revelation 1:13. So we're further describing the one like a son of man. So you can sort of think of one like a son of man standing here as the as related to the participle here, and the one like a son of man having and what he has something in his right hand. So this prepositional phrase means right here, we have the genitive personal pronoun showing possession. Dexia is an adjective that means right, and keri is the word for hand in the dative singular here. It is a feminine word, so we get all of that information, the case, gender, and number, from our definite article right here. So this attributive adjective right with the noun hand, so in his right hand. And then right after it, we have asteros hepta. This is an accusative plural, a feminine accusative plural. And it's in the accusative case because it is the object of the participle ekon. So it is what he has, what the one like a son of man has in his right hand, namely 7 stars. And then we have kai. So remember, anytime we see a kai, that's sort of a nice breaking point for clauses, where we can translate a clause and then move on to the next clause. So that's what we get here. Kai ek tu stomatos autou. So another prepositional phrase sort of following the same pattern here. In this case, we have tu stomatos in the genitive because ek, the preposition ek, takes the genitive as its object. So out of, stomatos is the word for mouth. It's stoma, and it's nominative masculine singular form, stomatos, in its genitive form. And then once again, I'm sorry, I said that it was masculine. It's a neuter word. And then autou, again, the personal pronoun showing possession. So out of his mouth. And then this whole phrase is going to be a nominative phrase. Each one of these are going to be nominative, feminine, singular. And you would expect that from the endings of every word here except for one. So take a look just for a second at these words and which one might not look feminine to you. That's right, distamos. This is what is called a two-termination. Excuse my chicken scratch, as always. A two-termination adjective. that means it has two ways that it ends. Remember, termination means an end spot. So two different ways that it ends, in os and in on. So it does not have a separate feminine form that we often see, or that we usually see with other adjectives that would be called three termination adjectives. That would be os, let's do it in a different color, os a on. That would be if we had a three termination adjective, but a two termination adjective, the os here, what we would normally associate, and then going down, we'd have oo in the genitive, o, etc., moving down. This, what we normally associate with the masculine, is also used for the feminine in two termination adjectives. So that's this distemos. The masculine and the feminine form look identical to one another, but because it's going with rhomphaia, we know that this is going to be, it's going to be feminine. And then at the end here, we have ek por you amene. Excuse me. This is going to be our participle. It's going to give us sort of a verbal sense of what's going on with this. So this is going to be a sword. Rhomphaia is the word for sword. And then distemos and exea are describing the sword. Distemos is two-edged and oxia is sharp. So a sharp, two-edged sword. We sort of reverse the description in English, whereas Greek has sword, two-edged, sharp. We like sharp, two-edged sword in English. And then ek por you amene, as we said, is a participle. This one is a present middle participle. Notice this min in here, which is used for the present middle or passive. In this case, it's middle because it's deponent. Remember, deponent verbs are those that have are middle in form but active in meaning. They've set aside their active forms and use the middle forms to mean something actively. It's from ek por you o my. So that o my ending is going to be a clue that we have the deponent. And it means going out or departing. So coming out, and then again, the ek repeated up here, out of his mouth. So really in English, we want this word to be first in the clause. Coming out of his mouth is a sharp two-edged sword. So let's put this description all back together. And again, the Son of Man is our subject here, having in his right hand 7 stars, and coming out of his mouth is a sharp two-edged sword.